Hello, everyone out there in the multiverse. This is Cinnamon Nitpicks. I'm Dan,
Chris,
and Isaac,
and we are here to talk about cliches today. So,
oh boy, cliches.
yes. So, let's start us off. You got the list.
I have a list.
A-list,
Feel
yes.
free. So we were talking about cliches that bother us or annoy us, or maybe some we even enjoy. Most film cliches kind of annoy me, but there are a couple I do enjoy that are guilty pleasures. Personally, one that really just, I'm tired of seeing it. It's the giant space laser, or the destructive laser, or the teleportation beam, the portal interdimensional thing, or just spirit jailbreak contraption that just shoots up and down into the sky. That annoys me.
oh, you were right. She does have something like
See,
that.
I thought
The
it
teleporting.
did. Okay.
We were talking
Yeah,
before
we're
this.
talking-
It's
yeah.
teleporting. So
Okay.
yeah.
So there's a giant
So
teleportation
Marvel
beam.
it totally abuses this.
Yes.
they-
Probably almost every movie.
Almost
Almost,
every movie.
actually, yeah.
Not quite everyone.
Well, I mean, technically, does a rocket count as a giant laser beam shooting you off? Then I can say everyone because Iron Man won.
Oh, I mean, Iron Man 1 has it with the arc reactor exploding
Yeah.
in the
Oh,
giant
yeah,
laser
yeah,
going into
yeah,
the
yeah.
sky.
Oh,
Yeah, forgot about
So
that
you
part.
don't need the missile. They do it for
Yeah.
you. The giant laser.
Yeah.
But yeah, like Avengers, you got the giant laser
Yeah.
into the spot for the space aliens. Infinity War, you got it again.
Once again, Doctor Strange with his teleportations.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, so that's a little
I don't
teleportation. I wouldn't have counted that so much.
No, you
But-
mentioned it though.
Oh, well, I said teleportation beam.
Yeah.
Because like the one in Avengers, it's the giant beam, and they're
I mean, even
They're-
Star Trek, which
they're
is
hopping through space.
great, which is a very scientific movie, has their giant space lasers. Like the new reboot, that's what they're using to destroy the planets.
Yeah.
Is a giant space laser drill.
Man of Steel has it coming out
Oh,
of
yeah.
the Kryptonian
Yeah, yeah.
spaceship. That's like, I'll admit it. Kind of the flex kind of looked cool. The laser flexed and then everything went. But
Yeah.
it's still just a giant laser.
And then, of course, the Independence Day with the laser into the
White House.
White House.
I mean, for shock value, that
Yeah.
I wouldn't have immediately held to it. Be like, all right, you did blow up the White House.
Yeah.
But it is just a giant laser beam. But I thought of this and we giggled about it earlier. Star Wars, Alderaan. You just see it from a third-person perspective. You see it from the spaceship and go, "Oh no, Princess Leia's home." Everyone in Alderaan went, "Oh no,
Giant space laser."
Space laser."
It's funny on Hitchhiker's Guide to the Galaxy, they make fun of that sort of with the way they destroy Earth.
Oh yeah.
With the hey, we're gonna we filed this thing, at a planet we're gonna destroy Earth in so many days, and he's sitting there and there's this big gigantic space rig coming to destroy Earth. Yeah.
Oh yeah. So that was one that I'm just sick of seeing. I can go on, but is there one you guys want to elaborate, or is there another one you want to talk about?
We talked about like inspirational speeches right before you die is the one that I don't necessarily get tired of. I just don't understand. You're dying, and your last breath is to go, "You'll never,
You can do it.
my freedom," as he's getting ripped apart. Or
Would you rather hear that than like them just going "f you"? Like
Or
I've
just
seen
dying?
it. Oh yeah. Or
No, I want to see someone else. I hate all you guys.
Oh,
I'm dying here.
Oh no, I'm thinking like Devil's Rejects. Otis Driftwood. He's doing his thing on some people, and he's like, "I would have gone easy on you. Now you did this to yourself." And then, as one fellow's into his last gasping moments, he spits some blood at Otis, and he drops an F-bomb. And then Otis just kind of monologues and goes, "Why? This doesn't make you a martyr. This doesn't make you a hero." So.
yeah. I mean, it feels more heroic, when you're with your last breath, you're dying, or you were my family.
So now you're arguing for it?
I don't know.
No, I'm just curious.
I'm saying it's supposed to make the guy more heroic when necessarily sometimes it just feels unnecessary.
Oh yeah, just die
Yeah.
quietly.
You just die quietly. I mean,
Exactly.
or stick your finger up and die. I don't know.
Maybe just doodle something on the wall.
Like,
Take a little blood, little smiley face.
Or in old mobster movies where they go, they write the name of the person that kills him in blood.
I'll admit I did kind of like that in Idle Hands.
Okay.
Where they wrote in the blood like Anton and he wrote Ant, and they're like, oh, did a bunch of ants kill him? It's like, oh, Anton.
Yeah.
I just didn't get to finish writing it before they died. I'm having trouble imagining any of those inspirational things at this moment, but I know it happened.
Yeah, it happened way too much.
I want to feel like it's a lot of older movies they used it a lot. Like I know John Wayne, at least 2 movies where he's dying because he doesn't die very often in his movies.
That's true.
And he always delivers an inspirational speech like Cowboys, where he's the old man who takes a bunch of kids out there and teach them how to be cowboys.
Gotcha.
And I think Iwo Jima he says something inspirational before he dies. Or they charge up the hill. I think they might just charge him times.
Okay. What about you, Dan?
One thing that comes to my mind is the huge air vents in buildings.
Like in Die Hard?
Yeah, like in Die Hard. They're like everywhere, and all these other movies too. I think Die Hard might have started it though.
Yeah,
I feel like Die Hard started it.
It's like Die Hard has enough room that Bruce Willis could have had like a little sleeping bag, maybe a little breakfast nook, and just gone to town.
Those are
I really feel like
you
he could have had more guns.
Claustrophobic in now. It's just like, yeah.
Were the vents small in Aliens? I don't remember. Because you got remember the creature goes through
the creature's going through them, so it has to be.
Yeah, it has to be a decent size.
Fairly decent, but
I feel like when it showed Ripley, it seemed crowded.
Well, the thing is, I don't remember any other character other than Newt going into the grates because that's how she survives all that time. She's crawling in the grates the same once the aliens crawling.
I feel like Ripley was in there. Could be wrong.
Yeah, I don't remember. That's why I was just like.
It's been so long since I've seen it.
It made me think of it. When
Dan, you might want to edit that out because you're going to figure this out.
Or comment below.
Yeah,
and be like, yeah, of course they were then. Or Chris, no, it was just Newt, and just scold me for it. But I couldn't remember.
I always say that I'll go home and rewatch it because I got this massive list of movies I just want to rewatch because people talk about the scene. I'm like, I don't remember this. Like we were talking about Desperado, which would bring me to another scene that I always think is interesting. Heroically walking away from exploding buildings.
Oh, I have that. I wrote that down too. Wolverine Origins, Desperado, Dust Till Dawn.
Dust Till Dawn is the most famous one I can think of. And
I'll be honest, that's my
movie ever.
Yeah.
True Lies.
True Lies definitely does. Yeah.
I'll be honest, Dust Till Dawn I think did it the best, but it just takes me completely out of it because I'm like.
Yeah, I mean,
I think you're gonna turn around because it just seems unrealistic.
Even in Die Hard, man, I feel like I'm bagging on Die Hard.
Die Hard has a lot of cliches.
Die Hard definitely has the cliche of the exploding building because when he jumps off the building's blowing up behind him.
But he's not walking. He's not doing the slow. I'm the action hero, man.
Yeah.
Now, I'll admit there's 2 where I give some leeway on. I think Burt Gummer from Tremors 2 did it absolutely correct. You throw the bombs are in the thing. You have the monsters multiplying, and they're trying to get out. He sets the bomb and runs. And he's like, gotta go. Everyone bunkers down, like, oh, it's gonna happen. Everything. He's like, no, idiots, keep running! And he gets them to go like another 40, 50 yards because he's like, no, this is gonna be big! Big!
Yeah.
That seemed real. That sounds right to me.
Yeah.
But if we're looking at just the I'm walking,
almost in slow motion.
Maybe
definitely in slow motion.
Maybe the Joker in the Dark Knight.
When he's walking out of the nurse.
Yeah, he's walking out of the hospital and he's like boom, boom, boom. But he's more questioning it because he's like
because it doesn't blow up. When
it doesn't blow up like he thinks it's gonna blow up. So he's like.
So that's kind of like making fun of the cliche, in my opinion.
Yeah.
So I think that's okay.
I mean, yeah. I mean that would be fine.
I was like, I feel like that one skirts it a bit. Mm-hmm. But I was like, when you said that, it made me go, oh, Burt Gummer is the man that does it right. I love Burt Gummer.
Yeah. I mean, Tremors is a great movie.
Yeah. I feel like the last one did it dirty, the franchise.
I felt like they just wanted to be done.
Well, they did it was 2 end spoilers. But the movie's been out for like a year plus now. They filmed 2 endings. One where Bert lives and one that they use, Bert dies.
Okay.
So it's like, I felt like there was just so much foreshadowing that Bert Gummer was going to die in the last one that I knew pretty early on that what was going to happen, and that kind of just took me out of the movie. That's another topic.
Yeah, we should do a whole
bad foreshadowing.
I was gonna say series.
Oh, all right. I'm not.
Battle of the series.
Fair enough.
Okay.
So I'm a horror movie guy, and there's a lot of horror movie cliches that you can just rip on the entire time. One that we talked about before starting this was the car won't start.
Well, but that's a lot of places.
So
like,
in your Jason, we were talking about Jason.
Oh,
that's such a cliche. They put it in the video game.
Yeah.
And the car doesn't you have
They
to
put a
have
lot
well,
of the
find
cliches
parts
in
of the
there.
car.
Yeah.
Otherwise, it's not going to start.
Yeah.
You know,
The car not
battery,
starting.
The keys, the gas.
It's out of gas. Oh
Yeah.
no! How many
so you gotta build a car.
You basically have to build your car. You gotta find your keys, your gas, something to go with the motor, and then for some reason Jason puts bear traps in front of the wheels or the door. That has. But yeah, you also have to let's split up because obviously we'll cover more ground when the serial killer's chasing us.
We'll find something if we split up.
Yeah, no.
I mean, yeah.
But I mean, that's not even just a horror movie trope. You also see it in action movies like Die Hard, for example. All the bad guys split up to find John McClane. It's like, no, guys!
This is why Goonies was a good movie. They didn't split up.
You don't split the party. But you see it constantly in a lot of horror movie franchises. You split up, and that just makes it easier for the killer to kill you.
Excuse me, I want to go hide from the killer in the closet.
Yes, hiding like a kid is,
Yeah.
I'd say, a cliche.
Yeah.
Hiding under the bed, hiding in the closet, running upstairs. In general, just GTFO out the front door or leave the campground.
To just run.
Yes.
Except for like Texas Chainsaw Massacre, when she actually books it and she's leaving,
Yeah.
and then she slows down because there's a vehicle coming. Oh, behold, what happens?
I'm gonna talk about that for a minute. That movie.
Which
This
one's
has
that?
nothing to do with cliches. Texas Chainsaw. I watched that as an adult.
Okay.
The original.
Like first. That's
The
the
first
first
one, the
time.
original one?
The first time I watched it, I was an adult, and half that movie she's just running. It was hilarious. Nothing scary about that.
Oh,
She was running to have, and you just another scene of her run. Yeah. Okay. All right. Let's go back to cliches now. I just had to mention that.
Oh,
So
there's
talk
a-
about people running in movies.
all of it. Was it the scene with the sledgehammer or the door where it's that good crack thud in Texas Chainsaw? I'm forgetting what the good crack thud was, but it sounded good. It was like, oh!
What I love about that movie, and I know we're going off topic.
So-
Random off topic.
That's
Say
my
this
fault.
and then we'll get back to
My
topic.
fault.
All right. When Leatherface is chasing her at the end of the movie, and he's just, and he's just running down, the sheer goofiness of Leatherface chasing after, and he just chucks that chainsaw. I love that scene.
Fair enough. Well, relating back to the running away, the trip. When a lot of women can't, and I hate to say that generalizing the women because I bet there is a horror franchise or film franchise where the dude trips, but you commonly see it with women in the film franchise where you go 6 feet away from the killer and then you fall. And then you scramble away, or maybe you get up and then you do the fall again.
Let's talk about women can running it in anything.
Oh, no, let me correct myself. Frodo from Lord of the Rings. He does do it. So it does both gender pieces. He runs and trips from one of the wraiths. I do recall that. But I really remember it from Scream, Cujo, all the various Friday the 13th, Halloween, Hatchet type stuff.
There always seems to be somebody running and tripping.
Yeah.
Like they're about to get away, but they trip over their own 2 feet.
I've even seen it in music videos, like Childish Gambino,
Yeah.
when he did that horror movie looking one. That was just Cujo when the mom's trying to get away from the dog.
How about when a sign says "Don't go in there"? People going in there. Yeah.
It's like read the sign, know the sign type thing.
Kind of, It's just always interesting. It's like half the time when they go back and visit, think it's the new Friday the 13th, where that area is like condemned. You're not supposed to go in there, and they sneak in there.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That was just poor planning.
Yeah.
Poor judgment. I mean, because depending on which timeline you're looking at, if it's the remake, I'm not sure which one you're thinking.
I think it was the
remake.
The remake,
Yeah,
okay.
the one with Jared Padalecki.
Yeah.
Yeah, Derek Mears is Jason. Because it was like in the franchise, a lot of those Jason kills are like happening in like 1 week and things like that. And yeah, like they were like around that same time period, and then I think it's like, oh, Camp Crystal Lake, and people just don't seem to know about all the murders.
When
Yeah.
townsfolk are telling you, "Don't go there, you're not gonna come back."
Well, then you got that whole crazy Ralph, shut your mouth.
Yeah.
We got other ones I could think of, like you stop the big bad, it stops the army.
Okay.
Where you like the Mummy 2, where you stop the Rock, Scorpion King, and all the Anubis creatures just dissipate.
Yeah.
Avengers, you stop the big spaceship, the Chitauri, just all.
Yeah.
Game of Thrones, all the undead warriors, you stop.
Right.
Was it the Ice? I want to say Ice King, but that's not right, because Ice King is Adventure Time. But
I've never seen Game of Thrones, so I
I'm
can't
trying to
help
think
you
of
out.
Game of Thrones kind of lost a lot for me after that season, and
Well,
it's not one of those franchises I've not
okay.
watched again since.
That's season 8.
Yeah. Yeah. Independence Day.
Yeah.
You blow up the big ship, all the other little ships go.
I was about to say Mars attacks, but they didn't do that because when they blow up Mars, they keep attacking.
That's true. You have to yodel and then
Yeah.
you die.
Yep.
In Mars Attacks. What else do you guys got? Or is there any others that you think of?
Aliens, when you meet a new alien species, all they want to do is kill you. No?
Not all of them. I mean,
It just seems that way.
E.T. didn't do that to me.
Well, it's because it's E.T.
I think that could be believable.
Yeah.
Considering what
it's an
humans
invasive
do
species.
when they need
I
a new
mean,
person.
I'd say
once
it's an
again,
invasive
you
species.
figure Mars Attacks does that, Independence Day, Aliens.
Well, to be fair, Mars
Predator.
Attacks, I think it's because they find it funny. It's not that, I don't know if it's malice, it's just like,
Exactly.
Yeah. One that bothers me, but I'm hoping it's going to change around, is the whole dead wife, girlfriend, love interest for someone else's motivation.
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, like in Deadpool 2, Vanessa dies just so Deadpool kind of does. Then same thing with Cable, where his family dies and he goes back in the past. And so, I mean, my understanding is that it's more of a, referred to as fridging because of Green Lantern
Green
comic.
Lantern.
Yeah.
But you also have Gamora and the Avengers, so you have to throw Gamora.
See, I don't think that was necessarily to motivate Star-Lord.
No,
Thanos is
Thanos.
What talking about. When Thanos gives up
what he
Gamora, and he, at the very end, he's like living peaceful.
But that was
in a
also
garden,
that I feel is different than fridging because it's not motivating the character. That is showing how horrible this character is.
Maybe. I would think that's more. I would think that would be more in line with Black Widow because she.
Yeah,
made
Black
the choice.
She
Widow.
made the choice, but she's the one who,
But she
let herself
sacrificed
sacrifice herself
However-
to save Hawkeye because of his family.
However, it does get kind of creepy when you make it seem when you put it in that context because you're going like, oh, Black Widow only dies because she doesn't have a family. When you link it back to Joss Whedon's Age of Ultron, where she's like, I'm a monster, and relates to then not being able to have kids. So that kind of gets creepy.
I know we talked about that because whatever it is, we're going to go ahead and say it. Disney doesn't like families.
They don't.
It's true. I mean, in
but-
Thor: Dark World, Loki and Thor only work together because their mother's dead.
Yeah.
I mean, it started with Bambi.
Yep.
Dark Knight.
I'll also say Warner Brothers doesn't like it because, Martha.
Oh, well, there you got Bruce.
Bruce, yeah.
Dark Knight, Bruce Wayne. when
Superman's dad always
Superman's
has to
dad.
die.
Always.
I'm like, why? No, come on.
you had it a little bit in the reverse thing with Wonder Woman when Trevor dies, but then I felt like it kind of got taken backwards because you brought Trevor back for a whole other series or a whole other film.
We're not gonna
But
talk about that movie.
but they I think they disagree with me on that.
Yeah, because he still dies.
He still
again.
dies,
Like,
and it's
he
very
doesn't
creepy.
stay back.
That whole like.
Well, it's creepy how he comes back.
Yeah,
that's just
that's a little
creepy.
twisted.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's a little twisted.
There's a lot of
Uh,
consent issues, I think, in
yeah,
that one.
it is.
But I mean, parents being dead happens a lot.
Yeah.
Disney's very much. I think, like I was telling you, I think the only one I can think of was Swiss Family Robinson. It's the only happy family I remember in Disney stuff.
I mean, there's a lot of sitcoms that did that too,
A lot of
where
sitcoms.
like where the mom is not in the picture, mom is gone,
Or,
mom is dead, or step parent, or what have you, or
Brady
dad's
Bunch.
dead.
Dad's dead, mom's dead. They meet together, and make a whole new family.
Yeah, that's true.
I mean, it's interesting on how the that family dynamic not being there is a very big plot motivator in a lot of shows. Like oftentimes you have that kid who I want this family aspect. Or I don't have a mom, so I'm going to look for a mom. Look at Parent Trap. Or it makes the dad so lonely because his wife's no longer there, or vice versa, because they've been doing a lot of that lately too.
Yeah, we have like Peter Quill realizing Yondu is the father he had, and not had the father he needed, not the father he wanted, I guess.
Yeah, because there's his actual parents
He
who
loved
died of cancer. The other one killed his mom.
Killed your mom with cancer.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
Yeah. So,
Poor ego.
yeah.
Not poor
Or
ego.
ego. What?
You heard me.
All right, we know which side you're on. Okay.
Yeah.
All right.
I'm on Kurt Russell's side.
I don't think that's a fight you want to stand on.
No.
Last thing I can really think of is like protagonist does something cool and then puns. Like,
Which I like that.
I was like, that's the only one I kind of like.
Firefly.
Do something cool, pun.
We
Make
did
a
very
giggle.
famous for that, so.
Like, I'm a Spider-Man fan. I love the puns.
Yeah.
It's good.
Now,
Do it.
I don't like the comedic pause break. Like,
Oh,
pause
yeah,
for
I get
the
what you're
laugh
saying
track.
there,
I mean,
Like, oh, I've done something funny. You're gonna laugh. Let's stop the movie. Laugh. Now resume.
Yeah.
what about the trope where a group of friends, mixed group of friends, they always have to have some kind of weird love triangle on that, or they have to fall in love with each other at some point in time. I always think of it's one of the reasons why I don't like Big Bang Theory. One of the
Well,
many reasons.
I think that's because
That's because they don't want to bring in more cast. That's basically it,
they don't want to introduce new people.
Although, with Big Bang,
They
they
did
did introduce the girlfriends. Like, they weren't originally in the group.
I didn't. I don't.
And they
I've not
didn't start
watched,
dating each other or
a lot
anything
of
like
the whole
that.
first season, that's what he was doing. He was trying to hook up with Penny.
Yeah,
The whole first season.
yes, he was. Because that was his love interest. No one else was trying to hook up with Benny. See, and that's what I feel like you were talking about, right?
I mean,
I
I
think
only saw
coupling-
a
coupling
couple
would
of
be
the
good.
episodes, but wasn't the guy with the bowl cut trying to hook up with that girl too?
That's because he's trying to hook up with
Every
every
girl.
girl. It's
Okay.
not. That's
Yeah.
his thing. He's the
Yeah.
flirt. He's the one to flirt with everyone.
Okay, I was like,
Yeah.
I couldn't tell you his name, but I was like, I remember him as bowl cut guy.
Yeah.
So yeah, those are the ones I immediately thought of. Arnold Schwarzenegger is a lot of those. Do something cool, then pun.
Yeah.
That's because it's Arnold Schwarzenegger.
Arnold.
It's
That's
gotta
what
be
he
written in his
does.
contract.
He's been, typecast in that way.
Everybody, Jew.
Yeah. There's horrible puns.
Hey,
Cliche that I find kind of annoying that's getting better is everyone speaking English. Because right now there are more subtitles and stuff when other people go to different languages and stuff. But they still have a lot of movies where, they just, no matter where you go, there's English.
I mean, you gotta.
Or the
Aliens
Yeah.
speaking
or the
English
the
to
native
you.
language to the aliens is English too.
Yeah,
Yeah.
exactly.
I mean, a lot of it has to do with, people not wanting to read them when they watch a movie.
Well, that's true. But, like, in the case of aliens, they could at least explain some kind of universal translator or something.
Yeah, like
they never mention anything
Yeah,
like
they do that in, like, Doctor Who.
Right.
The TARDIS instantly translates for
right.
you.
Yeah, that's good. But because it's explained.
Star Trek, I'm pretty sure.
I think Star Trek is,
Star Trek
but I've
definitely
never
is.
been a big Star Trek watcher.
It's all right
At all.
We're only filming this a day after Star Trek Day.
Oh,
Yesterday was Star.
Oh,
okay.
okay,
All right,
yeah. And you now know who the Trekkies are on this table.
Yes.
It's all right.
I did watch some Star Trek, but that wasn't the biggest.
I watched Star Trek Generations and the J.J. Abrams reboot.
I watched
That's all.
Enterprise.
That's all.
I watched Enterprise.
I do
And
plan
some
on
Extras.
watching Picard at some point. But that's it.
No judging. You know, it's not everybody's got the tea.
So another cliche that I find, it's another horror trope. The killer always gets up. You shoot him, you stab him, something that would kill the mortal man, and then back up.
Surprise, he's not dead.
Even though they're not supernatural, like you got.
Early on, Jason wasn't supernatural, and yet he still came back.
Yep. You got Michael Myers shot a couple times, set on fire.
Yeah, but you gotta love the no sell. You know, you gotta love when a bad guy no sells.
Really? Because that's a trope in itself. Like in Die Hard, I can't Die Hard again. The dude gets stabbed in the leg and no sells a knife all the way through his thigh, and then just keeps going.
Is that the same guy who also no sells being hung?
Maybe. But you know, even in Die Hard again, the dude that gets hung, yeah, and then he comes back at the end of the movie and gets shot up. He died twice.
I mean, we can always go ahead and call it out. Die Hard's the most cliched movie ever.
Yes.
From this conversation, it appears
Yeah.
I did not realize
Every
that until
cliche
today.
ever is in Die Hard.
That's
all right.
No, there's no giant space laser that I'm aware of in Die Hard.
No, but I mean, explosions.
Yeah.
I mean, you could simplify and just go explosions.
You got the bad hacker stuff in not in the first Die Hard, but maybe in the first Die Hard. The whole like, oh, I'm a computer hacker, I break the mainframe.
It is in there because he does hack when he gets up to the main vault.
That is the one that always annoys me, is that you have the computer guy and they hack the mainframe within minutes. Or like the most recent thing I remember seeing that was in WandaVision, where they're at the base and the one lady is like, oh, let me hack the mainframe while you go into the Wanda world. And then that's when they find out the plans about.
Talking about Kat Dennings.
Yeah,
Yes,
and
yeah.
that's when they find out that they have the Vision body elsewhere. And I'm like, how did you break the military mainframe bit within minutes?
But how else would you explain the complexity, Jesus, the complexity of hacking?
Maybe someone just leaves their internet browser open.
Yeah, there you go.
It's like,
That's what happens.
not
most time in
password
real life,
protected.
Yeah.
Or maybe someone likes a file cabinet. Because they could even have a whole plot piece about it, being like,
Or their password's God. We get it.
1,
We
2,
get
3, 4 password.
Yeah.
But yeah, I mean, you could be like, I don't put anything on the mainframe. Those things get hacked everywhere. And then someone just goes into the office, pulls the file, and walks out.
There you go.
But yeah, that's one that always gets me like,
Like I said, or another cliche, I mentioned it before we started the video, was clothes always fitting. Yeah. Bad guy, or not even bad guy, hey, I'm going to go shuffle through this garbage dump to find clothes to wear because I'm trying to hide my, what I look like. I'm running from cops. And these clothes automatically fit. Or take cops off, or take clothes off of somebody without really sizing
We'll
them
say
up.
something. We were talking about Terminator before
Terminator,
this video.
yeah.
Kyle Reese, his clothes, the clothes he gets actually look baggy though. That is actually good.
but he's not a robot.
Right, he's not the robot. He's not the Terminator.
He's not the name. They didn't call the movie Kyle Reese. They called the movie
I know.
Terminator.
Terminator has easily fitting clothes, yes.
Right.
But they did do well with Kyle Reese. I will give them credit for that. Because they look baggy, I think.
I've just seen so many things where they're like, okay, hey, we're gonna run in here and just grab a bunch of clothes off the rack. Like kids that are just stealing, they run in there real quick, grab stuff, and they keep going, and the clothes automatically fit. You know.
Yeah.
There's none of that. Oh, the sleeve's too short, or the pants are too baggy. You know, or the shoes just don't fit.
I
It's
get
just they
that.
fit perfectly. You know.
And actually, when you're mentioning that, it reminded me of one. Inept police.
Yeah.
Be like, and like, that's why in horror movies people don't even run to the police anymore.
No, they can't do
The
anything.
police are gonna die. You're adding to the body count by running to the police.
I mean,
like this
I know what you
big
did
guy that
last
walks
summer.
slow is going to
Yeah,
kill all the cops.
or like in I think it's Halloween. It's either the original or Halloween 2. Like the cop goes up to Michael Myers' body and he's like, "Oh, he's dead," and Loomis is like, "No!" and he just slits his throat.
I mean, think about it's not police, but it's still fire people in Halloween Kills.
yeah.
They go to save the obviously burning. You know, they go into the fire to save the dead body. You know, put the dead body out there. There's no dead body, and he kills them all.
Yeah, it's just like police doing just
that's
things
what
that
I'm
you
saying.
know they would never do in a real world scenario.
Most horror movies take place in small towns, right? Where the cops don't
Theoretically.
deal with murders and stuff like that.
I don't know. Hatchet has. Well, no, that one doesn't really have many police.
First place on Hatchet.
There's.
Okay,
Yeah, that's
then
what I was
no.
saying. I was
No,
like,
it
oh.
doesn't then.
Yeah, and I was like, wait a minute, never mind. You have a paramedic. Hatchet 3, you have police. They
Okay.
go and you have Zach Gallen that plays Billy from Gremlins.
Mhm.
He's a police officer, and some others that go in there. Some of those police officers didn't make maybe the best choices, like letting the prisoner escape from the jail cell
I mean,
when she was covered in blood.
I keep thinking of Jason Goes to Hell, where they're bringing the body. The police bring the body, and
Yeah.
Jason the body bag and comes out of that. When you talk about police.
I'll
Is
be
that
honest,
the
that's my
one-
least favorite of. Like, that's the one I.
Is
I
that the
really
one with
don't
his
like.
family?
Where Jason.
It's like more like a ghost that like possesses.
He's more like a slug.
It's where he eats the heart, like where the guy eats the heart of Jason.
Yeah.
So he becomes Jason.
Yeah.
Basically,
And then he
it's
body
like-
hops.
Yeah,
Yeah,
that's
the
the
body
one
hop
I'm
one.
talking about. Yeah.
That's that one's really weird.
Yeah, I know.
I honestly wish that one.
A few years ago, I
didn't
watched
count.
all the Jason movies, and I was like, okay. Yeah.
I mean, horror movies have, like, as Chris was pointing out, their own cliches. They're just built upon those. And
I mean, there's some in there we haven't even talked about.
Oh, yeah.
That's horror movie tropes. I mean, you got the black guy always dies first, which I don't like that trope
if you
particularly.
have sex in the movie, you're gonna die.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You're like, I'll be right back.
Yeah.
Don't ever say you'll be right back, because you'll
Yeah.
not be right back.
Exactly.
Or you also have the whole, oh, I have this deep secret I need to tell you. I'll tell you when I see you next.
It's like, no, I want to know what it is.
Yeah, because you're not gonna make it to the rendezvous point. You're gonna die.
Yep.
I mean, there's a whole joke about that in Hot Fuzz, where the guy's like, "Oh, messenger," but he dies when he's delivering the info to our police officer friends. That's some cool stuff. I like that. That's a good. I like that. So yeah, those are the cliches that come to my mind.
Yeah. You don't have any more?
No, I'm good. I can talk more about them, but
Trying to think of one right now.
All right. Okay.
alrighty.
So, this has been our video. Please like and share. And until next time, we'll see you in the multiverse.
Comment down below.
Yeah, any cliches you think we should have talked about and we missed, feel free to talk amongst yourselves. Maybe one of us will chime in. And if there's enough comments, maybe we'll do a round 2 of cliches or a topic
Yeah.
you suggest.
All right. See you in the multiverse. Bye.
Bye.
Everybody ready?
So you stand up straight.
Oh, it's my hair. I can't do anything with my hair. I might have to start shaving my head. You should. Be like Daniel. Yeah. Be like,
Do what all the cool kids do.
yeah. Is this peer pressure?
Yeah.
This is a cliche.
It is.
Peer pressuring other people.
All right.